What's going on, everybody? Brandon back here with another review of 8 weeks to Sealfit. This week I'll be covering the completion of week 6. Alright, so to get started, my personal review for week 6, the best way to sum it up is very awkward and still challenging. And by the awkward part, I mean, I started off last week on week 6, that is, being sick, getting over a cold. So it kind of had to alter my input and results for the week, but with that in mind, I still went through the week as best as I could. So starting off on the week, I went through Monday, got through the routine, and pretty much just getting through it was a struggle. And everything that I ended up doing, I had to do with longer rest periods because I was just congested in my face, my body just felt awkward and, sore and lagging in just many ways. And it was really a drag just to get through even the warm-up routines to get into the harder stuff on Monday. But even getting through Monday with the strength training exercises, I didn't hit any new PRs or anything like that. But in the same respect, I didn't go down in any weight in a weekend because of the sickness. And in the last area of the exercise, it required a 4-mile run, which I still ended up doing at a pretty good pace. I averaged at about 8-minute, 15-second mile, which is pretty good. So for the rest of the week, the layout is pretty much the same, except another strength day has been added. So Monday, Tuesday are going to be days for doing your strength training, and Thursday and Friday as well. Wednesday is going to be your day for grinder PT and low slow distance, and Saturday was just kind of a lower rep range kind of day to cool down a bit. But again, I only did Monday through Friday with the time allotted. So again, for your grinder PT, it's going to be about a 20-minute period for your grinder PT, and your low slow distance is going to be the same as it was for last week, where it pretty much calls for you to do as long as you can for your time allotted. And since the exercises are still staying around the 2-hour mark to get everything done for one day, pretty much I ended up doing the LSD routine and the grinder PT to accumulate to about 2 hours. So I ended up doing a mixture of 20-minute bike, 20-minute stair climber, 20-minute ruck carrying like a 30-pound ball on the highest incline on the treadmill, and 20-minute just, jump rope, stuff like that, just to get to the 2-hour mark. So the strength exercises for the week are going to focus on bench press, deadlift, back squat, and push press. And for the routines, for the style of strength training, it's going to be the same as last week. So you're going to try to go for your max weight that you can for 10 reps. And then you're going to take that baseline, and for the next 2 exercises, you're going to take off for the first round 5% of the weight, and you're going to do 10 reps. And then the second time around, you're going to take off 10% for 10 reps. But the only difference is on the second round, for the 10% decrease, instead of doing one set of 10 reps, you're going to do 2 sets. So that's one thing that did change from last week. Another addition, the miles just in one go for a run has increased from 3 mile to 4 mile. So again, that made me happy to be able to do that. Another exercise that was thrown in that was new was the frog complex, which requires a bar, which is kind of hard to explain, but they have good instructions on the Sealfit website and in the book that show you for pictures and everything how to do that as well. Another exercise that was thrown in, which it wasn't really new, it was just a longer distance, was walking lunges. So that requires, one of the exercises requires 400 meters of walking lunges. The CrossFit exercises, they weren't as much this week, for week 6. There was only one, but it was a pretty good challenging one. So you'll end up doing Murph for one of those exercises, and it's going to be the last exercise routine that you're going to do on a strength training day. So going into that, it will be a challenge because you've already, burnt up a lot of energy doing all your strength training, but not as many CrossFit routines this week, which is pretty good. So yeah, definitely week 6, I don't really have too much to say about it just because I did struggle to get through it with sickness and all. Again, Monday it was a struggle to get through. Tuesday, I woke up and I had the full intentions of going to the gym, and I actually had to snooze because I just felt like absolute crap waking up Tuesday, and got through most of the day just trying to refuel and feel a little bit better. And I did feel a little bit better and tried to go into the gym, but I didn't do the routine for that day. So I ended up just throwing on long pants and a hoodie and getting on the bike and just biking for about an hour just to sweat everything out. And even doing that, it was just a struggle, but at least try to get to the gym and do something to keep going on with the routine. Wednesday for Grinder PT, it was a little bit better. I tried to pick a routine that was just, it was a lot going on, like an AMRAP routine, but not as high as a rep range, just because my body was shot. Again, you know, on a normal standard, I could do about 15 push-ups, and it was hard, fully charged, just to do about 5 push-ups because my body was just drained still from sickness. And even going into Tuesday, when I, hit the snooze button a couple times, I don't really sleep too long on a normal standard. I only sleep about 5 or 6 hours, and I wake up fine, recharged. I slept 10 hours, and I still felt drained waking up that day, so I knew it was going to be a pretty rough week with everything involved. But even with everything, going through the week, I know that I definitely still felt improvement and gains from 2-hour workouts and all the strength training. I would say even with the sickness, I was still pretty beat by the end of the week physically from the gym. I wouldn't say it was as bad as the first week, just based off of, the first week, but week 5, because I think week 5 going into it, the rep range was significantly higher for everything. So you were doing, 100, sit-ups or 100 flutter kicks for 15 sets, and it just went on and on and on. But the rep range is still pretty high for week 6, but not that much higher to where it's just going to drain the living hell out of you. But still a good challenge at the same time. So yeah, that's pretty much it for week 6. Again, I'm going to put the general rep range and activities that you're going to be ending up doing for this week in the comment section below, or the description below, sorry. And still going strong, going into week 7, and looking at this as a new recovery week and not going into it with any kind of sickness, and looking for good gains, and we'll see how it goes from here. So until next time.